Hey, what's up you guys, it's IAmTheLionRider, and I am so excited that I am finally able to actually make a real news video for Planet Zoo, because it's been a bit. Obviously, since Europe Pack came out, there hasn't really been much news, but I am glad that we are finally here after a few weeks of deliberation about when exactly this next pack was going to come out. We finally have the answer. Update 1.9 will be coming out on April 12th, so that is really exciting. It's a little later than some people expected. It's roughly the same time I expected. I assumed it was going to be kind of like a mini Easter update type thing. And so without further ado, let's get started about the features of this particular update. So update 1.9 is going to be coming with the first main feature, which I'm not going to lie, I think they're kind of, exaggerating how important this is. It's roaming educators, which, is cool, but essentially it's a fancy way of them explaining how when the educators aren't going to be doing their animal talks or whatever normally at their post, they're just going to kind of wander around your zoo and then find some people to try and talk to just animals and stuff. Which, I mean, for those who enjoy guests in their zoo and enjoy their keepers doing some of those more interactive elements, that's kind of cool. So it's definitely a thing, but I'm just expecting it to literally just be kind of like a passive version of the educator system. I am kind of interested if they will be able to kind of do the same like animal feeding behavior and stuff like between the different habitats or not, but I'm kind of just assuming it's going to be they go near an elephant habitat, they talk, they go to a cheetah habitat, they talk, that sort of thing. And they have this like 7-minute video where you can actually watch the devs basically quiz each other on animal facts. If you want to watch that, obviously it's just a cute little video, so that is available as well on their YouTube channel. So next up, and this is a bit more exciting because I'm not totally sure to what extent this is, but it says the Explore camera mode, which does seem to indicate it is essentially better first-person mode. So obviously with the new Jurassic World Evolution 2 update, they just got a better first-person camera. So this is really exciting. So it might be very similar to this. It says that you're able to kind of explore and edit your zoo from the guest level perspective. So that is really cool. What I'm more or less hoping for, they haven't explicitly said this, they say you can build and do adjustments that way. What I really would like is if they somehow allowed it for the Zoo Tycoon 2 ability for you to manually fill feeders or clean up poop or do stuff like that. That would be way better for everyone because, as we all know, the keepers in game aren't usually the smartest, so you would always want to be able to have that kind of ability to modify that stuff on your own. So fingers crossed that's what this camera mode will include as well. Otherwise, I assume it's just going to be a slightly nicer version of TegidCam, which, probably has an official button instead of it being a cheat code. Always appreciate it. It's what we've been asking for, but we'll have to see it in action when it actually comes out. The next thing is audio-visual management screen and webcams on billboards. So long story short, it basically means there's going to be a couple of updates to the billboard system that's going to allow you to organize stuff and kind of go into the nitty-gritty about running costs and, I think audio levels and stuff like that. And it also says you're going to be able to incorporate the webcam feeds from Burrows onto billboards. So that's cool, I mean, I thought we were able to do that, but that's cool, I guess. More importantly, I just want to, I don't know if they've allowed it yet, if we can link normal cameras, like security cameras, onto billboards, because they didn't really say this, but that's really what people wanted ever since the Burrow update, because obviously you want to set up, cameras for your, giraffes or elephants or something, in addition to your badgers, for instance. So I'm just going to skip ahead because speaking of burrows, they do have a small burrow update, and that is the small burrow update. So they have added a couple of new types of burrows for both meerkats and prairie dogs, which basically do the same thing as the badger / fox one. I'm not really surprised by this by any means. It makes most sense. Like, the meerkats and prairie dogs are obviously, stereotypical burrowing animals, so it's very cool that that's going to be a thing. So back to the other updates. So there are new water options. So very cool, but I'm confused at like what extent this is going to say. It says that everything you're able to have water in this game is going to be customizable. So I think that pretty much means exactly what they're talking about, which is exhibit animals. So the handful of exhibit animals, I think, that are like the tropical forest slash, I guess, like the terrapin and bullfrog and stuff, you'll be able to change their water color, which is cool, but, you know, I mean, it's not really that crucial, I think. I think most people were fine with the setup, but it's a nice feature. And then it also says that you're going to be able to add mist and bubble effects to habitat water, so that's kind of cool as well. So, bathing behavior. So this is the big thing, and this is kind of getting into some Datamine spoiler territory from the last update that we discovered during Europe. And this is kind of where we get into the speculation about what the free deal, or not the free DLC, the DLC accompanying this free update will be. And that is the bathing behavior. So basically the way they kind of mention it is there's going to be a new enrichment item. It's for the Japanese macaques. It is hot springs. So hot springs are going to basically, it would be a way to regulate temperature and reduce stress. And it's going to be created not as an enrichment item, which is, or not directly, I guess. You can also kind of use this shallow pool option in the terrain editor, which is really useful. I think actually that's kind of more useful than people give it credit for. That's going to be so nice to just be able to make really, really shallow water, if it works the way I hope it does, where it's able to just kind of lay down like a flat sheet of water pretty much anywhere. That way you can kind of get like permanent like puddle effects almost. But we'll have to see how it works, because obviously we don't really know. We do have a photo to accompany this, and this is kind of the background. You can see it a bit clearer on this image. So if we pull it up, this is the hot spring in action. And yeah, it's some Japanese macaques chilling in a pool. And, you know, you can see that it's about knee height on them, so about probably a foot deep of water. So that's kind of useful. So, I don't know, maybe it's a system where it allows you to just kind of go up in smaller water increments from the current system, because I think right now it's like you basically go up, I believe, like every meter or so, every 2 meters or something, so maybe it's a little bit smaller than that. That could be cool too. But the more interesting thing about this update, because we're now wrapping up the stuff, so before I get into the Datamine stuff, because not everyone is interested in that, and some people are going to want to turn away, we need to discuss this, which is on Monday, the 28th of March. You can go and visit their Twitch and YouTube. They're going to have a live stream. You're probably going to get a hint at one of the animals that is coming up. I have a theory on which one it could be, so definitely go check that out. So now we get into, before spoiler territory again, let's check out the time schedule. So it comes out on April 12th. We go to our trusty calendar. April 12th is 3 weeks from now. Well, from when I'm recording this. It's obviously that. So let's just say we get the feature focus, or the update announcement on the 28th, right? So the next Monday. This is almost certainly an animal pack. That's what this means. Because if we get the DLC announcement on the 29th, right? Get Animal 1 on the 30th, 31st, 1st, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, then we get it on the 12th. That makes the most sense. So this is almost certainly an animal pack for those who, you know, were kind of expecting that. I, myself included, I think they might be doing this kind of on-off schedule. It's kind of a bit iffy to say definitively whether or not that is the new pattern. But obviously, the last update we got a scenery, the time before that we got an animal, the time before that we got a scenery, time before that we got an animal. So I think they might be fluctuating between them, which actually is more beneficial because usually the scenery packs get more time, because they are more difficult to make, obviously, than the animals. Usually, I don't want to speak on behalf, but usually, you know, obviously, making a few hundred props is a bit more difficult than making 8 animals, usually. So from that perspective, yeah, it's safe to say this is an animal update. Now we get into the Datamine / speculative about what this update is. So, for those who probably have been watching 100 videos, a lot of other content creators have been kind of, you know, spewing stuff about birds and fish. It's neither of those. I didn't even want to make videos about that because, like, I don't want to get everyone hyped up for nothing. It's not birds or fish. The more likely situation, it's probably rainforest. Or endangered species. I doubt endangered species. It's definitely something related to the one animal that we pretty much definitively found, which was the capybara. So the capybara was in the data mine that we found, the next 5 DLCs. We know there are 5 DLCs in the files, at least. We don't know what they are. But one of the props that we found was the enrichment item for the hot springs, which we were like, oh, what fits hot springs really well other than Japanese macaque? Oh yeah, that's right, capybara. Oh yeah, what else fits, you know, oh look, there's a capybara sign in the pack. So what's interesting, the capybara sign was in the aquatic pack art style, which doesn't really surprise me, because that means that it could be very similar to Southeast Asia, where each of the animals in this pack aren't part of any particular, you know, unified theme for signage or anything, so they could just kind of mix and match stuff from all different continents. We could get different signage from different continent art styles. So for instance, like I said, capybara could be South America. Then we could get another animal from, say, Madagascar that follows the, you know, one of the African art styles or something like that. So now we get into, you know, why I think it's rainforest, and that is mostly just because that is the biome or general group that I think is most desirable for the pack. And normally, actually, I would say if it wasn't for that capybara, I would have thought for sure this would have been the Greater Asia pack. Because obviously, you know, the hint is at the Japanese macaque, obviously. Now, that would probably indicate, oh, we could be getting, like, takin and markhor and stuff, and wild horse. All animals that are also highly desired, you know, they're definitely sought after. The only issue I see with that logic is if we were to do that, then, you know, what does that mean? Like, why would the capybara be in here? It's obviously very popular in Japan, but it's not really Japanese or anything. It's very much a South American animal, so they'd be really stretching it when calling capybaras like an Asian animal. So it's why I do think it's kind of a general rainforest animal pack, and not even just South America, because South America, I really don't think we have that many animals that are highly sought after, especially for an animal pack. Like, we're talking about needing another 7 habitat animals from South America. Capybara is huge, right? And then you could do maned wolf, Andean bear, howler monkey, and then after that, you're really stretching it. You're just kind of listing monkeys, you know. Oh yeah, we need a GLT, we need a golden lion tamarin, we need a squirrel monkey, cotton top tamarin. Like, you can do it that way, but, like, it's not as appealing. Or, like, ocelot or something. But none of them really hit, like, a just general jungle pack, where it could be mostly South American. You could do, you know, capybara and a sloth or something like that, but you can also wedge in some of those other more underappreciated areas of the world that are also jungles that might not ever get packs. So Fusa, for instance, from Madagascar, probably never going to get a Madagascar pack, so that would be a perfect, like, animal to put into this one. From Asia, the boy that I've been waiting ages for, the gibbon. Still don't have a gibbon or a siamang, so that would definitely fit really well in this pack. It would be very appreciated, and it would kind of act as the one outlier animal from Asia that hasn't already been added yet, because if we do get a Greater Asia pack at some point with all of those kind of Himalayan / steppe animals, yeah, the gibbon would be an outlier because it's Southeast Asian, and we already got the Southeast Asian pack. So that is why my justification on why I think that it is just general rainforest or tropical. They're going to call it something like that. And so thank you all for watching. I mean, I will definitely keep you up to date. Like I said, I've just been waiting for a strong update like this. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys on Monday, where we can discuss whatever we found from the live stream. Bye, everyone.